And we are live. Hello, I am 6ix9ine, your host, and welcome to the Overtime Podcast bonus episode number 4. Apparently, we have 2 concurrent viewers. Hey, if you're an actual person, please leave a comment. I'm trying to figure out if it's a stupid YouTube thing or if I'm actually getting views. So, whatever. Anyways, Laura is found some interesting stories, and we are going to let her take the lead today, and then rambling and whatever we do.
Yes. So, obviously by the title, we're going to go through those stories first. A couple days ago, unfortunately on his fucking birthday, Corey LeBear, who happens to be a pretty large YouTuber, he's friends with, I grew up with them. They were a huge fucking collab channel, O2L. Back when YouTube, like, that was a thing to have collab channels. Now it's kind of not really a thing to do that. Now it's more a thing to be in collaborative houses, which I think are stupid as fuck to do, especially during this quarantine shit, to live in a house with fucking 20 other people, but, you know, that's your prerogative, I guess. Well, anyways, so what happened was he died in a car crash, and, like I said, his name was Corey LeBear, and the person who was driving him, he was drunk on his 25th birthday, which that's so fucked up to die on your birthday too, like shit.
That's poetic.
Yeah, it's got kind of a weird, deeper meaning to it. But if you guys want to donate to the memorial, I'm going to link it to Tony. By the time that this episode goes up, we will add it to that. We do not know him personally, but obviously he is a pretty big YouTube personality. Memorials are not free, so if you want to click the link in our bio, do so.
Well, if no one wants to go ahead and send me that link, I can go ahead and add it to the description while we're live.
Yeah, I'll do that later.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically he got into a car crash. The person who was driving with him did not die, strangely enough. I don't completely know how the car crash went, but the person that he was with actually tried to flee the scene of the crime. So I guess he was sober enough to do that. I don't really know.
So you're drunk enough to get in a car wreck and get someone killed, but you're sober enough to run away from the crime scene. How the hell does that work?
I don't know how that works, to be honest. But the next thing is obviously the 6ix9ine situation. So everyone and their mother basically has heard of 6ix9ine now. He got released from jail. He was in jail, and his trial was funny as shit because they used his own music video basically against him. And basically, if you've watched that music video, I don't know if my co-host has, but it's basically
that kind of music.
It's basically a giant meme, so it might be funny as hell for you to watch it. At least to watch that and then the comments on it as well. Well, basically, they used that footage in court because if you guys remember, he went to jail for being associated with actual gang members. And when I mean gang, I mean, like, not the whole, oh, I'm in a gang, I'm all tough, but, like, gang members that actually shoot people and actually steal things.
Didn't get arrested for association?
Well, he did shit is the problem. So he was associated with these bad people. He snitched on them, but he also did actual bad crimes, which is why they locked him up. But they lessened his locking up because he snitched on these people.
And now he's out to help him not catch the corona, although he'd probably been safer in jail.
Yeah, so once he got let out of jail, he made a music video, and he went on Instagram Live. So right now, he broke the record for most people to join a Instagram Live. He had over 2 million viewers. And if you know anything about Instagram, that is a huge fucking number. Like, Instagram, especially with their fucky algorithm, I'm sorry, but as someone who's on Instagram a lot, ever since Facebook bought Instagram, it's not easy to manipulate the algorithm so stuff actually gets shown to you besides ads, because that's basically all Instagram shows you now. Um, but yeah, he broke the record for most viewers, and he also broke, I don't think he broke the record, but he got a shit ton of views on his music video that came out. Which in the music video, obviously I don't think you watched it, Tony, but in 12 hours he grossed over 30 million views, and if you watch closely, a scene in the music video, he's literally wearing I don't know what it's called, like that, the detector shit that like can tell where the fuck you are.
He's wearing his ankle monitor?
Yeah, and it's the funniest fucking thing. And
well, you know, he's got to go and make some money because he needs that armed guards to protect him against those guys he snitched on.
Yeah, and like when you look back at the video, I think it's called Gummo or something like that. If you look back at that specific video, people were making jokes in the comments saying like, "Oh my gosh, it's so funny to see this video because almost every single person in it probably wants to kill him."
Uh-huh.
And
a price on your head is a hard thing to live down.
It's just like, it's funny to me that he's being all like confident and cocky, being like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm breaking all these records, like y'all can't do it like me, like I'm making all this money," and I'm like, dude, you're still wearing your fucking ankle thing.
I wouldn't want to do it by like you.
Yeah, like,
I'm a guy who's got to make a lot of rap videos so I can hire the security so that the guys I snitched on don't come over and kill my ass. Prices on your head are not an easy thing to get rid of.
Yeah, I'm sending you the GoFundMe now. I think it should. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
I sent you the link.
Okay, I've got the link.
So it's a GoFundMe, even if it's like $2 or $3, you guys. Like I said, memorials aren't free. It is put on by like his cousins and stuff. Like I said, neither me nor Tony know this person personally, but he's a popular person. You might as well, you know, donate what you can.
Corey
LeBerry. Or LeBear.
I'm trying to spell his name right. Just a second. B-A-R-I.
R.I.P. It's a sad time that this is. This is definitely an eye-opener for people. Like, please do not drunk drive. Please do not drive with someone who's drunk. It's just 100 times no. Don't end up like him, please.
Okay, that link is in our description under Corey LeBerry Memorial.
Yes,
link.
So go check out his GoFundMe, or at least share the GoFundMe with your friends and all that.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing. And remember, good friends don't get drunk with friends and then let them drive drunk.
Yeah. So it's definitely a message that hopefully people will not be stupid and, you know, get other people.
Don't abuse alcohol.
Yeah, basically. Or at least maybe stay home if you know you're drunk. That too.
There's a reason. There's a reason I don't go drink at bars. I can get drunk at home, and I don't have to worry about trying to get a cab.
Yes. So moving on from that doom and gloom story is, so me and my co-host Tony, we used to live in an area that was not too far from Sleeping Bear Dunes. Well, they actually had a 1872 shipwreck that was linked to a pirate legend that emerged on the shore. So every couple of years, the last time that a piece of this pirate ship landed, in, like I said, the Sleeping Bear Dunes was in 2015. So this one lady, I guess she like so technically, because it's on the Sleeping Bear Dunes, it's no one's property. It's like the state's property. So they can't like move it or anything or put it in like a museum. It just kind of stays there. But the lady has permission to like take photos of it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it was really cool that that happened because the more pieces that they're able to capture, I think the more history, they're able to see,
Mm-hmm.
oh, like who is associated with it. Because everyone talks about, oh, like Sleeping Bear Dunes has a lot of history to it, and it brings back memories of like I didn't really believe that much in like pirates because I always think of pirates as being like this fantastical thing, like oh, what you see in the movies is what like a pirate would be, but they were actually very real things that looted people and I mean, they're definitely exaggerated in movies, don't get me wrong, but, the history's still there. And I just thought that was a cool story
Oh yeah.
that, something cool for once happens in Michigan, besides all the doom and gloom of concerts and shit getting canceled and whether or not the economy can ever survive with the
Well,
single largest festival that keeps it afloat.
oh, that town. Oh, if that thing is canceled, they're going to.
They're fucked.
That town's already dying due to the high cost of living and the low wages. But that's for another video. We're trying to get the videos more on topic. But
Yes.
but it's cool because the Great Lakes are actually inland seas, so there was piracy on those lakes and large and very large ships.
Yeah,
It
I think shipping was my cousin told me that the logging and shipping industries were very close to Michigan and Wisconsin.
well, you see, yeah, and there's the bottom of Lake Michigan is full of logs that have been lost from ships from the logging industry. And it's full of shipwrecks and all that stuff. There was so much history beneath those waves. Because the Great Lakes are almost like oceans unto of themselves. That's why they're called inland seas. They are the largest freshwater body on the planet. The largest amount of fresh water in one spot on the planet. Actually, I think most of the fresh water on the planet is in the Great Lakes. And at one point in history, I do believe Her Majesty's warships did sail up the Saint Louis Canal or whatever it is that passage from the Atlantic into the Great Lakes, and they actually
I
did
didn't
used
hear
to
about
sail.
that.
I believe at one time in history, those ships, warships, sailed up there to drop off troops in the French and Indian War
Oh
and War
wow.
of 1812 and that sort of thing. They are that big. Oil
Wait, what
tankers
they
come up all the time.
what they go there for?
Get behind the enemy?
Well, like what did Michigan have to do with the French and Indian War though?
No, I meant they went into the Great Lakes. Lake
Oh,
Erie,
okay, gotcha.
Lake Hudson, I think it is.
Yeah.
Um, okay, it's not Lake Hudson. Hey, oh, Lake Huron. Yeah, Lake Huron.
So, like, what I wonder is what they do. I mean, obviously, like, they're not allowed to, like, take the pieces and shit, but, like, I assume they don't just leave it there, right?
They do just leave it there.
Hell. So, but doesn't it go afloat somewhere else, or what? Do they put it near shore?
Well, it washed up on shore. If it goes back out to sea, it'll just sink again.
Huh.
So, but it's cool to see that out there. It looks like that's the keel of the ship. Actually, it looks like the bottom of it, or at least a deck.
Yeah, I think that they've collected already a decent amount of the
But here's
pieces.
one thing I do want to go into. With your story you sent to me, and you're gonna have to start just sending me the links so I can actually read these stories. Um,
Thank you for finding them interesting enough that you would want to read them.
well, it's hard to read the stories send me when you don't send me a link. Yes, people, you get to hear us argue about the podcast on the podcast. Uh, Welcome to the show where there is no curtain hiding the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Burger King, Popeyes, and McDonald's reopening dining room uh, at hundreds of locations across America, and apparently they're wanting to use McDonald's as the model.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, we both worked in McDonald's for years, and we worked in a good one. Yeah, using McDonald's as a safety model is a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to like shit on McDonald's, but there's some things that if you saw them, you probably wouldn't want to eat there again.
Yeah, and we ran the good store in town. One of the other stores, their soda machine was so filthy. Every time you went up to it, it smelled like rotting fruit, like medicine.
Literally.
And I wanted to gag. And it's like, how the hell are they getting away with keeping this open? It's like it was mold and mildew coming out of it, and you could smell it. But our McDonald's, everything was clean. You didn't smell anything. Everyone got it hot. And that's because we mostly ran it with about 4 people half the time. And guess what? Those people were the ones who were getting all the work done for everybody, all the time.
Yeah, and then the people who weren't those 4 people were just kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end there, when I moved here to Indiana, um, I actually once, because people wouldn't show up for work, 2 weeks, my last 2 weeks there, both in a row on Tuesday, I worked a 14-hour day one Tuesday and then another 14-hour day the next Tuesday. Because people didn't show up for work and our boss asked me to stay and I needed money.
That's the thing about when I was there, like, a double shift quite literally was a double shift.
Oh yeah, people don't realize this, but if you have a decent boss and you're good at your job, you can make a decent amount of money on overtime at McDonald's.
Yeah.
As long as you work in a
And
place with a decent boss and it didn't overstaff itself.
and basically get free food all the time because of how much overtime you're working.
Well, how many times did our boss Kim buy us lunch or dinner if we stayed late for her or
Yep.
skipped our
But
breaks or
we're
whatever?
getting off topic. So
Yeah,
basically, the news story. Sorry, we have a lot of pent up bad memories from that place.
and good
So
memories. It's not all
and
bad.
good. Um, but basically, so what they want to do is a lot of the different states, like say Atlanta and Florida, shit like that, they are opening up the dining room areas, but changing up some stuff. So they're using McDonald's as kind of like what Popeyes, Burger King, and all that other shit should be using as their model. So they're right now they're doing max capacity of like 25 to 50%. So obviously having less people come in, you are still encouraged to go through drive-through. They are actually closing off certain tables, so you're not really allowed to like sit as much as you would have. They closed off the pop machines, so if you want to get your drinks, well, you kind of got to hope that the person that makes your drink makes it right.
Uh-huh.
As well as they say that they'll be sanitizing the tables and shit after every use. Now, whether or not they'll be good about... He's laughing at that because he knows that's bullshit. But for the most part, when we were like not as slammed, we did try to clean up the dining room. Like we did have someone, try to get out there every couple of hours because
No, you
it
see,
gets disgusting.
I guarantee you the one we used to work at, because I believe the old boss is still the one in charge of that place. I guarantee you can still eat off the floor in that restaurant.
Yeah, she's still there. It's pretty clean from what I
The
remember.
the way that our old boss ran that particular McDonald's, you could probably eat off the floor.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want
she
to,
did.
but you get the point.
Neither would I. But she did. She was a good boss, and she kept things pretty clean. I've seen shitty McDonald's before, but that was not one of them. Um, as well as I know a lot of grocery stores. They're doing like the plexiglass in front of the registers. I do believe McDonald's and Burger King and shit like that will be doing that as well.
That's not a horrible
Um,
idea.
it's not. The only downside to that, from what I've been told by workers, is that especially for old people, when you have the plexiglass thing, it makes it like kind of hard to hear people because it
Well,
cuts off the sound waves.
well, with the plexiglass there, you can always put your ear down towards the hole where you would normally take the money through, or around the side, so you can try to hear them a little better.
Yeah, that too. And I was told by a couple other people that malls aren't technically completely open in some areas. They are doing like you can go to the outside malls, but obviously like capacity's changed for that. And then the malls that are open, probably in like Atlanta and Florida, a couple of malls being open, everyone is wearing masks and gloves and stuff like that. So obviously people are still, caring about this corona thing, but they are trying to slowly open up the economy and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I mean we have to get it opened up eventually because you can't exactly keep everything closed forever. Which
Right.
we've gone over how that all happened in previous episodes. I'm not going to go on that spiel because I do believe we are trying to limit ourselves and not go to an hour length anymore. I've got an
Yes.
idea for this show I kind of want to put out there at the end of the episode, but
Well, actually, we were thinking that 30 to 40 minutes, at least for the bonus episodes, maybe on our main episodes that we're going to do, maybe make that an hour. But if you want to go ahead and talk about the possible changes, that was all the stories,
that
and
was
we
all the
did
stories.
we did hit basically 30 minutes. So yes, if you
Oh
want to
well,
go into it,
22, but
it
okay.
says 30 on my end.
Well, you're talking about this phone call I didn't.
Oh yeah. Well, by the time you talk about the changes, they'll
Yeah.
probably be at 30. So go ahead.
Okay, so we've been over here looking into trying to get the channel better, get a little bit more exposure, as it were. Try to put a little more effort into it, but we don't want to lose the fun because this show is about me and Laura having fun with our conversations, and you guys getting to hear that. That was the whole idea behind that, and we really don't want to turn this into a business venture. We gotta get all serious and all that stuff, about it, and you have to do this on this day. And, if it's not any fun, especially if we're not making any money off it, well, then, but if we do make money eventually, obviously, different story. I'm sure Laura would agree to me if we were making money off this thing, it'd be a different
Yeah.
story.
If we were making money off this thing, there would be definitely more of a dialogue that would be more concise and scheduled,
Yeah, there would be huge scripts. We would have everything
and we would
scripted. Who would
definitely
talk
be
when?
trying to get more guests on here. Guests, unfortunately, for this podcast have been kind of off and on. We do apologize
But
for that.
granted, we know a lot of interesting people, but a lot of the people we know, even though they know enough to be interesting on the cast, they get the idea that we're like this huge podcast, or something that we're not, and they think they gotta be like, oh, I'm not feel comfortable representing this group or whatnot, because they're not 100% experts, but we're not looking for 100% experts. We're trying to get the layman's man, perspective on things. Your average person. I don't want
Right,
some
like
college educated,
we
super big expert on my show.
we try to find articles that are interesting to, between 16 to 35 age group, and we try to explain it in such a way where, a freaking scientist isn't explaining the shit to you, but a normal person.
Yeah, with normal ideas and whatnot. But we're going to try to shorten the episodes. We may shorten or lengthen on regular episodes. It really depends because I do believe that we are going to start pre-recording all of our regular episodes. I think live is going to be more of a bonus episode thing because these live
Yes.
ones are kind of more spur of the moment, and we aren't really getting any views on these live ones. And one of our bonus episodes was our most viewed episode lately. Here on my channel, I'm going to be starting to do more music video reactions because last night before I went to bed, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to see. Finally got my webcam working, but um, I recorded some videos for that, some reaction videos to a couple Skillet songs, and one of them in a day got 22 views.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
And several of those views came from people looking at in the analytics. Several of those were from 4.5% was from notifications. So at least somebody out there is getting notifications that we are posting, which I think is awesome.
Yes, thank you to the people that are watching.
Or will be watching. We understand, when we are doing impromptu at 11:35 on a Tuesday night, there's not really going to be anyone on here listening.
Didn't we have 2 concurrent viewers, or?
At one point, we got one concurrent viewer and one like, but I'm not sure if it's a concurrent viewer or the preview since the people won't leave a comment.
Right.
But that's the thing. We're trying to make it better. So we're going to try to do some show notes. Maybe have it a little more scripted, but still very much off the cuff. Because...
And later on in the, once we get more of a hang on how we want to do this, I know other podcasts, they put timestamps of kind of where it starts and where it ends for certain segments if you guys want to skip over and stuff like that.
Yeah,
obviously, we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah, we'll start looking at timestamps, some better descriptions. I'm going to see about reworking the description in all my videos since I haven't really seen anything coming about the COPPA thing. A lot of my description, that legal shit portion, is literally there just to keep the YouTube COPPA restriction algorithm from hitting my videos. But I don't know that if the word shit being in that description might be hiding the videos in the search because YouTube does not like profanity.
It doesn't.
We like being able to use profanity, or at least I like being able to use profanity when I feel it necessary. That's why we'll never be monetized, because to be monetized, I have to talk clean, and screw that shit.
I mean, technically, Tekashi 6ix9ine says the N-word multiple times, and his music video still does good.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Yeah.
So, we're trying to do that. I'm going to see about doing more reaction videos, get more Let's Plays going on my 6ix9ine gaming channel. We're going to try to condense this thing. And I do have one idea, which I'm not sure if we'll go ahead and keep going with the next episodes, or I might kind of rebrand it a little bit. I mean,
what's the idea?
I was kind of going to go Overtime Podcast 2.0. Like, we can come back. We'll still do it, but, like, I want to go in and try to experiment, see if I can find a way to make maybe a slightly better photo thing that might look a little less tacky with SpongeBob in it, because that does kind of look a little weird. That might be scaring some people off. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I like it, but stuff like that. Like when we come back with we'll keep doing the regular episodes until we're ready to figure out what 2.0 is.
I feel like the idea of it is good. It's just the picture itself might need to be edited a little bit. Issue.
The picture needs edited. I could more organically put my character in here. What we really should do is remove the SpongeBob, make you a character model, and have it be our 2 character models.
Well, I think what would be cool is to have the 2 character models, and we have Maybe do in the middle a planet and then have blended in the SpongeBob overtime, and then we could have our character models like looking at the overtime like world. That'd be kind of a cool image.
Yeah, we're looking back at the overtime world at what we had, and then it's 2.0.
Yeah,
It might be cool,
I
but I don't want to launch 2.0 till we're ready to launch 2.0. Because
right.
doing something like 2.0 something, it means I gotta be on top of getting the stuff up to SoundCloud. We have to get our rambling down on the episodes.
Yeah.
I gotta start doing more editing. A lot of this isn't on my co-host side. I'm a busy guy and I'm kind of lazy. So half the shit
And you
that...
didn't send me the link for this live either.
No, I didn't. Oh, shit.
No.
I forgot to do that. But...
We're trying our best, guys. We're still... Even though we've been doing this for a while, we aren't professionals, okay?
We are not professionals, not in the slightest, and I can't eat. And the thing is, half the time I go to these, oh, that's a stream URL. Yeah, I go to this thing, it says stream URL. Oh, that's different, sorry, that's why that link didn't work. But, pretty much, I just figured out why the links I send you don't work, because they're the stream links for the streaming software to hook up to. I'm an idiot. Okay, that is essential. You see, stuff like that is why we are not ready to call this 2.0 quite yet. Because here's the thing, when it comes to 2.0, I want to set us up maybe a Facebook page for the podcast. I want to make sure the SoundCloud's up on time. I want to make sure we're going up on YouTube on time. I want to maybe we can start, if I had the money, I'd get to where we'd have a blog. I'd still have a WordPress, but that's getting expensive. Where we could blog about the next one, or, keep something going. All the stuff. But I also don't want to make it so big in the 2.0 update that it becomes work. Because this is our hobby. And I believe keeping it our hobby will keep the energy and the fun up that we have with this show. Because if we turn this into work, you guys are going to hear it in our voices. You're going to hear it in how we deal with things. And you're going to realize that we don't want to do this right now. And then it's bad for us, it's bad for the show, it's bad for the audience. Even on a professional level, you don't want that to happen. I don't want to be that burned out internet personality that is now doing it just for the paycheck. Because I'm not afraid of the grind, but I really don't want the burn. So yeah, like I said, I kind of want to do this thing. I haven't really figured it out what we're going to do, and what I think. I'll have to talk with Laura some more off camera. Because obviously some of the ideas aren't ever going to be mentioned, and they're never going to come to fruition. They're never going to be complete and added in. But, and I also got to figure out what's going on with the web series idea for the Patreon. Because if I'm going to promise that, and we're going to make a go of this, well, I got to figure that out. And I'm not sure, maybe my exclusive web series will be my reaction videos to different music videos. I don't know yet. When I know, you guys will know. But right now, we are on bonus episode 4, and if I go here, we are up to episode 33 and scheduled episodes out till June 7th.
Oh, wow.
So, we're still relatively young as a podcast. We haven't even been doing it a year.
But the fact that we stuck with this for so long, I mean, I feel like
I'm
both
proud
of us
of
have gotten more comfortable with talking about,
I'm proud of us. And our What About subscription boxes comes out on the 17th. So we'll see what happens there. Because if our thing's about subscriptions and then meditation and yoga and stuff like that, then we might start going into more topics in that general direction. And keep the current events to these bonus episodes. That way, our real diehard fans, whenever we do get them, can come see our live episodes and join us live once in a while for a bonus episode. But bonus episodes are never going to be scheduled, guys. These are always pretty much going to be, hey, we decided to do a show.
Yeah.
So, and because of our work schedules, they're always going to be later at night. And I have noticed that our views have gotten a little better since I started premiering our shows at like 8 p.m. on Sunday nights instead of 10 p.m. And like my videos, I always premiere those at 9 in the morning. So that they're like the first thing people see on their YouTube on the subscriptions in the morning.
That's not bad. And plus, like, I mean, our live videos are going to be late because, you know, both me and my co-host do work second shift. But if we can schedule out the pre-made ones at like 7 or 8, then that might not be too bad.
Yeah. Or like on a weekend, like if we can do this earlier, we might. But we also have stuff to do on the weekends. Side projects. I have to have time to do recording for the regular videos that aren't the podcast. She's got to have time. Laura's got to have time for her video recordings that aren't the podcast. I don't think a lot of people realize how much other projects we and most people in our position have going on. It is not a boring at all. It is very busy.
And I think that, like, in general, you know, with the podcast, like, there's so much that we can do with it because the news is always changing and we always have shit to say about it. That's why we got this idea to do it, because we wanted to express, you know, how we felt about the current events, topics, sports, and stuff like that.
With that being said, though, on a personal note, I don't know how my co-host feels, and we all kind of rambling a little bit. But if we go a little over, we go a little over. This isn't This isn't going. This is a bonus episode, so you know, doesn't really have a time limit.
But wrapping up, there will be changes to the structure of how we're doing things.
But on one personal note, despite the fact that I do agree with my co-host about us having these things to talk about, it does kind of dampen the spirits when you are having fun doing this thing, but you never get any views, or any new subscribers, or any comments. We joke about being the least listened to show on the internet. Unfortunately, it's also true.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we should wrap this up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I hope you guys can be excited for looking forward to 2.0 whenever it does happen. It's probably going to be a couple months, because if we're going to do this, we need that workup time to, you know, get everything together instead of this impromptu stuff. So you'll still get the regular 1.0 rambling with a few improvements here and there for the foreseeable future. And in about, I'd say 2-3 months would probably be a decent window with everything else we're doing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll shoot for having 2.0 launch late July, early August. I think that's a good window. And hopefully you guys can enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You guys can support us on the Patreon, which would allow us more money to put into this thing. I know you can do a lot with no money, but there is a point where having money makes it easier to make a better quality product, because you can get these tools and programs and whatnot. So that'd be great. You can join me on my 6ix9ine gaming channel for my Let's Plays. You can come back here where I'm right now doing reaction videos to rock songs based on the ones I just did premiered today. I'm thinking I'm going to be doing a lot more of those because I got one that was 22 views in a day, and that is a lot of views in a day for me.
Hey, that's a lot to me too. Some of my videos don't even get that high.
And you can also go over to Laura Quinting's channel, Food, Makeup, Skin, where she does unboxings, makeup, and other stuff that I'm not 100% sure what all she does. I lose track. But yeah, with all that being said, have a good one. Be safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye now.
Bye!